Lava, chicken. Steve's lava chicken, yes, TP's hail. Ooh, lava seat tonight, a ring in the grill. Crispy and juicy, now you have it on stack. Ooh, super spicy, it's a lava attack.
So what do you think of my cover of Steve's Lava Chicken? What do you think, Santos? You made the song.
10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah. 10 out of 10. All right. I know this took us like 2 weeks later, but life is busy, so better late than never. We are finally reviewing the movie, and I'm sure you know which movie we're talking about. Now, we're going to be doing 2 episodes. The first episode is obviously this one, which is when we're reviewing the movie. We're going to talk about it, all the memes around it, and then we're going to be reviewing the theater merch because that itself has gained a lot of traction because of its popularity. And then the next episode, the one coming out after this one, we'll be reviewing the toys. So the Mattel toys, the Happy Meal toys, and of course the 6 Minecraft Meal collectibles from McDonald's. Obviously, this video is going to be the movie review. So, of course, there's going to be spoilers, no spoilers. So, of course, we're going to start with no spoilers first and then move on, yada, yada, yada. This is routine at this point. You should be well aware of how this thing works. So, let's talk about the movie. You know, I have a lot of things to say about this movie. The good, the bad, and the ugly, and the memes. For starters, when the first trailer of this movie dropped, I remember I watched it at your house.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what to think of it because you showed me it. And I was like, I don't know what to think of it. It just, I don't know. I wasn't used to, I guess live action was the main issue at hand.
Well, real people with computer graphics.
Exactly. Real people with computer graphics. Because my vision of this movie was similar to how the Super Mario movie was, like animated, fully animated. And it makes sense. Like for Minecraft, there's been a lot of great animations out on YouTube. So it would logically make sense for the movie to be animated as well if they partner with like Illumination or something. So for them to go to the live action route, I just found that, you know, I don't know what to think of it. and then when Jack Black pops up on screen and says, "I am Steve," I was like, really? That's Steve? I see Jack Black more than Steve. Like, I look at him and I don't think, oh, that's Steve. That's Jack Black. So it's Jack Black in a blue shirt. So many months have passed now that the movie is out. You know, I think my whole perspective has shifted on the movie, and that's mainly because of the memes. This movie literally has the Revenge of the Sith treatment, where 50% of Jack Black's lines were all memes. From "I am Steve" to the infamous chicken jockey to Flint and Steel. That one's my personal favorite, Flint and Steel. And then there's what? They're the villagers, big old red ones, water bucket release.
The Nether.
Yeah, so I think the memes kind of strongly supported this movie, and I think a huge reason to the movie's success is because of the memes. Like, let's face it, the story is not the greatest. Like, it is very corny, very cliche at times. It's not Oscar worthy, but the experience in itself is so peak. It's absolutely peak. So my non-spoiler review of this is just go watch the movie. I will suggest you go watch the movie for a good time. Don't expect Inception or Oppenheimer. You know, it's not going to be that. It's a video game movie made for families, children, because most of the people playing Minecraft are young adults like us, because we grew up with it. And then we have the newer generation of the younger kids at this moment playing the game. You're not going to see like masterful, artful storytelling. It's not supposed to. Do you really think they can do much? They can do an Oppenheimer-worthy movie with Jack Black in Minecraft? Like, put those two together, you're not going to get peak storytelling or like literature and all that. So I'm going to give the movie itself, my score for it will be a 6 out of 10. The movie itself. But the experience, 10 out of 10. The first time I watched it, because everyone was well aware of the memes going into this movie, people were bracing for the chicken jockey scene to happen. Peak. There were so many applauses, laughter, cheering. Luckily, no popcorn was thrown. That's too far. Like, let's be honest. You can clap, you can cheer, but there's no need to throw popcorn and make a mess of the theater. Like, why? Like, it's just a long day for the workers, and it's just an unnecessary waste. You're paying $30 just to throw $30 in the air. So I don't know. But luckily, in our case, no popcorn was thrown, no live chicken was brought in, no fireworks were set up too. Did you know that was another incident? Some theaters, people brought fireworks into the theater and then
it damaged
the fire alarm went off and everything. With my second viewing was when we watched it. It's like more. It's a public viewing now because the movie's out. We watched it a week after its release. The theater we were in was a lot more tame than the theater I was in the first time. So we had laughter. There was a lady behind us that was just bawling her eyes out. That was so funny. And then there was only 2 moments where the theater was quoting and cheering, and that was the 2 popular memes, I am Steve and Chicken Jockey. All the other lines just swept under the rug. No one reacted to it. No one really cared about it. But the first time, going back to the first time I watched it, even some of the songs, when Jack Black starts singing some of the songs, as soon as he finished, there was a standing ovation, especially at the song at the end of the movie. There was a standing ovation to Jack Black singing. That was so funny. And the thing is, with the chicken jockey scene, when that was coming, I looked around the theater. Everyone was like sitting up from their seats, bracing for impact. I saw some people taking out their phones, even though we weren't supposed to take out our phones. That was one of the rules in a pre-release screening. No phones allowed. But yeah, everyone was genuinely hyped for it. And then when the baby zombie dropped out of the box onto the chicken and Jack Black said those 2 words, the theater erupted in cheering and clapping. And luckily, no popcorn was thrown. But it was fun. You can feel the excitement of everybody, and it was a good time. So you can't manifest that at home. So I will say, since the movie's still in theaters now, go watch it. Seriously, go watch it. You might get a tame theater like I did when we watched it, but that's up to you. Like, obviously, there comes a certain limit, but I think what we got was pretty good. I like we got a like a more calmer theater when we watched it.
Because at the beginning, the worker was like having a megaphone, and warning everybody.
The theater has security measures now. The funny thing is, I actually saw this post online. I think one of the Cineplexes has a timetable of when the chicken jockey scenes would take place. So they had the movie start time, and then right next to it is the timestamp for when the chicken jockey scene would happen. So they're really ensuring that, you know, nothing bad happens when that scene comes up. It's kind of like, you know, when you think of it, it's kind of like the Winter Soldier. You know how like Bucky turns into the Winter Soldier when you say a combination of words. It's like that. Jack Black says 2 words, chicken jockey. And then it reignites like a war or something. It's so funny. But I do not condone a lot of the actions. Obviously, how did that guy bring a live chicken into the theater? I'm still wondering that. Like, sneaking in snacks is already a challenge. How did you bring in a live chicken? Like, how'd you get past security with that thing? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, experience was peak. Movie itself, I want to talk a lot more about it, but before we wrapped into spoilers, Santos, what is your non-spoiler review of it.
Okay, I give the experience a 9 out of 10, and the movie a 6.5.
Any other comments on everything surrounding the movie?
Yeah, the memes were fun to watch. Especially like that's spoilers. Yeah, the experience was good. The pacing was a bit fast because it's like an hour and like 40-minute-ish movie. Yeah, story was like really predictable.
Do you want to talk about like our theater, because we watched it in 40x, and we got the bang for a buck, that's for sure.
So Ryan gave me this huge drink, and I put it like in the cup holder, but like the chairs we were like shaking a lot, especially during like action scenes, so the drink like splashed everywhere.
I mean, yeah, the tickets were like $27 each, and they really make sure that your money was worth it. The seats were shaking so much. You're never going to fall asleep if you watch movies in that theater. You're never going to fall asleep. Imagine watching Fast and Furious or like Mission Impossible. You're just going to get a massage the whole time. The seats are just going to be consistently shaking. Yeah, it was crazy. Also, every time scenes of the Nether happen, it would spray like a perfume.
Yeah, like a tree scent.
Like a tree scent. Yeah, every time when a Nether scene happens, the theater would smell like perfume. So I guess 40X is great. Maybe that's why not a lot of people stood up from their seats to like clap and cheer. Yeah, maybe that's why. Also, yeah, the guy with the megaphone in the beginning was like, "Please don't cause any disruption, or we will have to make you leave with no refunds." Maybe I should put on the accent. Anyways, but yeah, I think. Is there anything else you want to say, or should we?
Yeah, when we left the theater, like the same guy was talking about the chicken jockey scene.
Oh, yeah, that was so funny. He was on the walkie-talkie with another worker. He's like, "Oh yeah, we have a couple more chicken jockey scenes after this, so we need to keep a few workers here." Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. When I don't remember a last time a movie has forced theaters to take security measures. Like, I don't think Endgame or Infinity War had that. No, right, because it was just everyone was just clearing. Everyone was just cheering and clapping and screaming. But no one thought of throwing popcorn or spraying lotion or bringing a live chicken. Like, I don't know. Do you think this movie has caused theaters to make a successful recovery from the pandemic?
I don't think it's just this movie. Like, just because there's a lot happened after the pandemic, yeah. So.
But I feel like this movie was one of... I think this movie and No Way Home drove a lot of traffic back to theaters.
I guess.
Yeah.
Because of marketing, probably.
Probably the marketing. No Way Home was not really marketing. It was the anticipation of nostalgia. You know, all the villains, the 3 Spider-Men. Like, I think that drove people to go see the movie. So, yeah. I think that's all we got for non-spoiler talks. I mean, you wanted to say many things about the movie, so why don't we dive in? Let's open the spoiler gate. Let's talk about it. So, yeah, the story is it's very cliche, very predictable, very fast-paced. I mean, I just wish they dived, like, stretched it out a little more. You know, it's an hour and 40-minute film. It wouldn't hurt to make it a little over 2 hours. I think within 20 minutes, just add an additional 20 minutes, you can probably flesh out a lot of the stuff. Now, the human story, like it's sad, I guess. Like, Henry and Emma are orphans. Their mother just died from cancer, so Emma's like the guardian, the legal guardian. You know, she's like, I don't even know how. Did they ever say how old she was? Yeah, well, sure. Like they want an emotional story like that. Okay, sure, but I feel like that was like a B-side story. Also, the black lady who's like an animal herder, but also is a real estate agent. Like, what was her point? What was the point of her being in the movie? I feel like if they were to include her in the story, she should have done more. She hasn't really done much. I'm not saying she didn't do anything. I'm just saying she hasn't done a lot. Like, I think that whole plot is a little wonky. Jason Momoa's character is like some like who's like a broke, but he was like a successful video gamer or something. He had like
Pro gamer.
pro gamer. Cool. That was a little more interesting, but let's be honest. If you try to sell Minecraft diamonds in the real world, how much money are you really going to make from that? But anyways, like, they don't try enough to strengthen that story. It's just, they're trying to, like, give you a quick setup and then bring the characters into the overworld and launch them straight into the Minecraft world quickly. Because obviously, the ultimate story is, the main story I would like to say is around Steve, who, as a child, he yearned for the mines. He I guess he found his purpose with the mines, and then he found the Orb of Dominance. I think that's what it's called, which is just a rip-off Tesseract. And then that brought him into the overworld. He met his dog, Dennis. That's a pretty cool touch. And having Dennis. I feel like Dennis spent a lot of time in the real world, though. Yeah. But yeah. So he discovers Minecraft. There's like a montage of Jack Black just saying "Flint and Steel," "Pink House," and he was just like a montage of him building stuff, pretty much.
Oh yeah, one thing about the orb, it's just a cube, but the Ender Pearl looks more like an orb than the cube.
There we go. Like, some things could have been done better, that's for sure. And then he stumbles into the Nether. The Nether is where I really think is where they fell short. The Nether didn't have enough stuff. Remember, the Nether has more than just piglins. Before then, piglins didn't even exist. Back in the old days of Minecraft, the Nether consisted of zombie pigmen. Those were the mobs that are now retired. Thanos snapped them out of existence, and now piglins are the new mobs. But in the Nether, you have the piglins, magma cubes, blazes, wither skeletons. 4 whole mobs that didn't make a single appearance in the movie. We only got piglins and ghasts. Also, the ghasts are kind of misrepresented. In the game, the ghasts, they're quite slow. Right? They're just big white things that just float in the sky and shoot fireballs at you. In the movie, they're fighter jets. They fly so quickly. It's crazy. I guess, sure, you can make that change, but also do it in the game. So it makes sense. But then again, we are going to get the happy gas soon. So I guess maybe that's probably to go with it. But can we fly them like an F-16 fighter jet? Probably not.
You have to stab them in order for them to
shoot fire. I'm pretty sure the happy gas won't shoot fireballs, though. They're just probably going to be modes of transport. Which I'm actually excited to get that. Just to go off topic for a second. I'm excited to see the happy gas in the city. You know how like it was gonna be so good like flying from one city to another, so we have to rely on the roads. What do you think of the Emma and Henry story? You know, being orphans and then.
I don't think it was needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a side story that no one really cared about.
What we've learned from Emma, she tries to be a parent, but she's still too young for that. She knows how to make a good tater tot dish.
Tater tot pizza. And she was her job is like a social media manager for some chip company.
Was it?
Potato chip factory.
Yeah, because they were in like
Yeah.
they were in Idaho, right? Yeah, they were in. I'm Canadian. I don't know this stuff well. So that's that, and then Henry obviously goes to school. He's like that smart kid that everyone hates, that everyone bullies him for. The principal. Oh, that's another story. The principal, the principal and Henry's art teacher apparently divorced.
But that's like revealed at the end.
That's a reveal at the end, but it was kind of funny at the same time. Like they just have that like the teacher doesn't give a fuck about what's going on. So it's just what were they doing in the class? Were they just drawing stuff?
Drawing a banana and an orange.
Yes, they're doing that, but Henry's like, I want to build a jetpack for some reason. And without any legal jurisdiction, he was able to build a jetpack with a skeleton, launch that, crashes into the potato chip factory. The mascot goes tumbling in the water. I don't even know how many dollars of damage is that. That's property damage. Like, realistically, he's going to be charged. He might get sued for that. Like, the potato chip company very well can sue Henry, even though he's a minor, but they can sue him for property damages. And yeah, he didn't get into too much trouble with it. And then he got Garrett, Jason Momoa, to be his uncle with a $26 bribe. Again, you see, as I'm saying this out loud, you start like the story wasn't really needed. In what way does it relate to Minecraft? I skipped over a major part, the YouTuber cameos. So, Jason Momoa, I'm not gonna call him Garrett. I'm just gonna call him Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa wants to buy a storage unit because apparently that storage unit has a very old game.
Atari something.
That's worth a lot of money. So he tries to pull some strings with the owner, like the storage unit owner, to win the bid. And then in the actual bid, in that scene, there's a couple YouTubers that pop up. Dan TDM being one of them. LD Shadow Lady. Mumble Jumble. And I think there's a couple other ones, but I've never watched them, so I don't know. But obviously Dan TDM was the recognizable one. He was the guy in the cowboy hat with the... He didn't say anything. He didn't say a single line. He just held up a sign. That was it. Cool. I guess that's a way for the director to say to the kids, like, hey, your favorite YouTuber is in this movie, right? So that's a cool scene, I will say. Was it needed? Did it make sense to the story? No. But it's cool to see the cameos. It's cool to see them appear on the big screen. It's not the first time they had YouTubers in movies, though. Dan TDM actually was in Free Guy once. So, it's not his first movie. Yeah, what do you think of that scene with all the cameos?
Well, I don't really watch Minecraft on YouTube, so I didn't really recognize most of them except for Dan TDM, I think.
Okay, so there's that. And then Jason Momoa wins the storage unit. He wins the bid, but turns out
there was like nothing really important.
It was just
the
box.
Yeah.
So he got scammed. But he also got his hands on the Orb of Dominance, the cube thing. The Tesseract. If I was him and I saw that thing, I'd be questioning what it is. He just didn't care about it. He's like, it's whatever. Just brought it back to his shop. And then Henry comes into shop after the school incident. And then he's like, ooh, what is this cube? Oh, what is this sign? The sign tells me exactly what not to do. I'm going to do it. And they do that. Of course, that's very cliche, of course. Which then the cube takes them to the mines. Emma and the lady track them there. And then, hey, voila! They get sucked into the portal and they enter Minecraft.
And then the tree scent.
And then the tree scent happens.
Yeah.
I will say, with how much people trashed on the CGI, it's actually, like, when we actually watched it, it's actually not the worst. I think the CGI isn't that bad. Like, the pink sheep, he looks goofy, but he's meant to be goofy. If anything, like, I think translating what they look like in the game, you'll see in a second, into, like, a live-action adaptation I think it's cool. It's good enough. I will say the Iron Golem, they did that the best with making it live action, like a live action translation. The zombies, I can't say the same. I think the zombies look horrible. Like
The skeletons are okay.
The skeletons are alright. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think they were being selective with the mob. Oh, the bee is also really good. The bee was done pretty well. Even though the bees they're like background characters, and there's a lot of toys. There's even there's a couple of things related to the bee. They did a lot of toys on the bee, but they're just background characters. They're just in the environment. They don't actually contribute anything to the story. So they go in, they explore the overworld. Wow, it's so calm. It looks beautiful in all its glory. And then they come across a pink sheep. Jason's like, I'm Aquaman, but I can also talk to sheep. So he tries to talk to the sheep. The sheep's like, huh? I don't know what you're saying. Oh, while they do that, the green villager sees them. He's like, they came out of that portal. I'm going to go into that portal. And he goes, keep in mind, the green villager is the unemployed villager. So he has no job. So he has all the time in the world. So he decided to just traverse into the real world. He goes into the real world. No one's freaking out that there is this big, blocky, bald guy just with his arms linked together, just walking around town. I know it's just an average Tuesday for the people in the real world. Dennis, does Dennis go back?
Yeah, to hide the orb.
Oh yeah, because I skipped over this whole part. Steve gets captured by Magosha.
It's like a whole flashback.
Yeah, a whole flashback. Steve gets captured by Magosha, and then who is the villain? That, by the way, in case you didn't clock the name, she is a piglin who got humiliated in Nether's Got Talent, and then she just rose the ranks and became leader of the piglin cult. And then, yeah, she captured Steve, trying to get the orb. Then Steve gave it to Dennis to hide it. Dennis brought it to the real world, which how it ended up in that storage unit for Jason to buy. There you go. I'm kind of backtracking now. All right, back here. So, villager leaves the portal. He runs into Dennis on the way out. Pretty sure that happens, right? They like cross paths at one for like two seconds.
I don't remember.
So that happens. Dennis goes back into the game. Oh, real quick. You remember that scene when Dennis and Steve plays fetch and you just see Jack Black leaping into the air? That was kind of a silly scene. That was a really silly scene. Like you can tell that's like CG. That is green screen work. Jack Black is just on a wire jumping off something. It was so funny. Anyways, we're going back to that. So Jason is talking to our guy here, the pink sheep. And then it turns into night, and they're like, "Whoa, why is it night so quickly?" And that's when we get introduced to the mobs of the overworld: zombie, skeleton,
Spiders.
a lot of spider jockeys. That's the thing. Spider jockeys are incredibly rare in the game, and in that scene there was like 15 of them. There were so many, and they all had enchanted bows too. They were firing flame arrows. That's crazy. And then, for some reason, they decide to split up. Jason falls into a hole. The skeletons have stormtrooper aim. They couldn't shoot a grown man in a tiny hole and couldn't hit him. And then he finds like a secret tunnel, goes there, and he comes out of that tunnel. And that's when he encounters this guy right here, the creeper. What happens in that scene?
It blows up, and then Jason Momoa goes flying away.
Yep. So that's the introduction to the creeper. Meanwhile, back to the main characters. We have Henry discovering that you could actually build in the game. He hits his head on a tree, doesn't get knocked out from it, and he builds like a very ugly looking shelter. At least this protects them from the zombies. For some reason, the zombies attack the pink sheep. They don't do that. They only attack villagers in the game. So I find it kind of odd that they went after the sheep. Like if it was a wolf going after the sheep, that makes sense. But they had the zombies going after the sheep. I mean, that What did he do to deserve that? Like, leave the sheep alone, man. What did he do to deserve to get torn up? But anyways,
Also, the way how Steve and Henry build, it looks kind of weird. They
They're
just
like-
like point everywhere.
we're doing that, and then I lost my. Oh yeah, so they build their towers. For some reason, the zombies are smart and throw the creepers at the building to blow it up. That does not happen in the game. Just saying, that does not happen in the game. Even on hardcore, mobs aren't that smart. The most they'll do is just surround your building outside, and they like look up at you. That's it. They're not going to try to actually like force their way in.
They go up to the very top, and like everybody's screaming, and then Steve comes in,
Yep. And
wrecks or kills all the zombies.
kills all the zombies. And then I like how one of the comments I saw, people are saying like the zombies should have looked. The zombie should have been Steve. Should have been Jack Black, but green. Which yeah, I can see it. I mean, Jack Black has spent 10 plus years on the Kung Fu Panda franchise, so he's like, it's about time I bring some of that into live action. So he takes out the zombies with a very interesting style of martial arts. He kills them with a pickaxe. Yeah, like if you did that in the game, the durability of that pickaxe is gone. So, anyways, he kills all the zombies. Henry's like, "Who are you?" And
I am Steve.
they changed it.
The trailer one's better.
Mm-hmm. The trailer one is, "I am Steve," and then the movie was like, "I am Steve." It's like, I mean, that didn't stop my theater from quoting and clapping and cheering. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, he said it!" But you can obviously tell it's a reshoot. They reshot the scene, different angle and everything. I don't wonder why it did that. He starts monologuing and about like, "Oh, that cube, you don't know what you're dealing with. Like that thing you have over there." And they're like, "No, we're not giving it to you, blah blah." And they're like, "We want to get home." And then Steve's like, "Oh, well, you can't get home because, well, the skeletons destroyed the case thing for the cube. So the only other one is at the Woodland Mansion. You gotta go get that. But no one goes to the Woodland Mansion. It's so dangerous there." And they're like, "Well, I don't care. We want to go home." And he's like, "All right, fine. I'll help you. But we gotta go to the village first to get gear." So they do that. Now, going back to the real world, what is happening with our unemployed villager in the real world?
So he's trying to walk across this highway. He gets hit by the principal's car,
Yep.
and then they go on a date.
Yep. No injuries too. She didn't even freak out. Her first comment was, "Your head is huge." Like if I saw that thing, I'll be like, "What are you?" Her thing is just, her first question is, "Your head is huge." Like, okay, sure. And then they go on a date. So I think guys, like any males watching this, just don't give up. If a bold, unemployed villager can find love, you can too. Our heroes, our main characters, go to Midport Village. And I think they actually did a pretty good job with building a village, making it live action. And that's when we actually see all the villagers who have jobs, even the wandering traders. The wandering traders hang out with the normal villagers. We also see a bunch of sheep, cows. I mean, the cows don't actually... the cows don't appear much in the movie, do they? No. For like one or two scenes. And then there was definitely a lot of chickens. There's a lot of villagers. But with the village that big, in the game, there would be like 2 or 3 iron golems. That village only had 1 iron golem. So I'm like, what happened to the other 2? Did they retire? Did they die? Or, anyways, Steve is like, "They're the villagers." That's another meme. And they love crushing loaf. And he explains how the villagers are pacifists. You know, for the people watching who has not played the game, he's basically explaining it to those people who the villagers are and what they do. And then we have one of the biggest cameos in that scene. What was it, Santos?
Pig wearing a crown. Forgotten name.
Technoblade. As the saying goes, Technoblade never dies. So I have to explain to you in the theater about the context of that cameo, about Technoblade and the legacy he's left on the Minecraft community. He was our age when he passed away, which is quite sad. Like, man, he had such a long life ahead of him, and cancer just beated him. It was a shocking news to the community. So I actually read an article about that cameo. They weren't going to do it at first, but Henry, like the kid who plays Henry, he pushed for that cameo to happen. He wanted because he was a Technoblade fan too. So he asked the director, "Can we please include a tribute to Technoblade?" And the director's like, "Let's do it. Sure, fine, we'll do it." It's like 2 seconds. It shows a pig with a crown walking across the screen, and then Jack Black's like, "That's a legend." So that's pretty cool. In my first viewing of the movie, our theater clapped. We had a standing ovation for that cameo. And when we watched it, no one cared. There was no reaction to it. And I think that was the only time they showed a pig on screen. I don't think a pig appeared again afterwards. Yeah, that was the only time a pig was on screen. But that's pretty cool. So Henry was like, "Whoa, is that a king?" And then Steve was like, "No, that's a legend." I mean, yeah, you're right. Yeah, obviously we don't know, but what do you think Technoblade's reaction is as he's watching from heaven? He sees his cameo.
Something positive.
Yeah, he's probably, "Yeah, I'm in the movie." If you've watched his videos, he actually has this nonchalant personality where he just doesn't care about stuff. With his death video, he's like, "Oh, don't grieve for me. I'm having a great time up here in heaven. Don't cry for me. Enjoy your life, man." Like that was literally the video he filmed before he passed away. Like he was like, damn, he was just nonchalant. He was so positive in life. So anyways, yeah, I can respect that. I can respect the movie actually paying tribute to him. And yeah, even though it was 2 seconds, it was great. But as we move on now, we then approach Steve's lava chicken.
I think everybody was hungry, so Steve led them to this lava chicken contraption. Basically, a chicken drops down, and then lava pours, and then that's how you cook the chicken. Jason Momoa wanted to eat it right away, but it was cooked in lava, so he's like, it was hurting him when he ate it.
But what happens as the chicken was being burned alive?
Oh yeah, the song.
Yep. We were actually building that in the city. I built the I built the lava chicken contraption. You're working on the note block song for it.
Just following a tutorial.
Yeah. Cool song. Too short though. It's catchy. It's too catchy. It's stuck in my head, but it's too short at the same time. It's to be expected. You put Jack Black in a movie, you're going to get him singing. Like it comes with putting Jack Black in a movie. It's part of the package deal. So there's that, and then Steve's lava chicken happens, and then they go. I think Emma and the lady were they trying to buy a map from one of the villagers? Yeah. They were gonna do that, and then Henry, Steve, and Jason, they go to Steve's house in that village, and a bunch more memes happen. He's like, "Diamond armor, full set." That's another one. And she basically shows a bunch of stuff. And he's like, "An Ender Pearl." And apparently he only had one because he almost died. And he almost died fighting an Enderman to get it. But Jason's like, "Nah, I'm just waste it." And just throws it. And he freaks out over it because you teleport it. Of course he would freak out. And then Henry, no, this happens after. And then they go to the holy chamber, and Steve goes, "This is a crafting table." And then they had that scene. Steve, he crafts a iron sword. Jason makes what does he make again?
a like buckets, but they're like nunchucks.
They're like a bucket nunchuck. And then Henry makes a pretty cool one, which is a potato tot launcher. Potato tot gun. Can we please get that as an item in the game? Like a potato tot launcher. I would love to use that. Oh man, imagine no, just make like an item launcher. You can launch snowballs, you can launch eggs. You can just spam eggs at people. That'll be so funny. Anyways, he makes that, and then back in the Nether, Malgosia's like, "Oh no, Steve betrayed us. Oh, he's at the village? We gotta invade the village. General Chungus." that is his name. General Chungus comes up, and he had apparently Chungus and Steve were like good friends. They had like they spent a lot of time together. So she's like, "I need you to unalive Steve." He's like, "Nah, do we have to unalive him? Fine, I'll unalive him." And they drink. Apparently, if the piglins walk into the overworld, they will get zombified. So to protect them from it, they drink netherwort potions. Awkward potions. That's in the official game. That's what's called. So Chungus leads an army of piglins and a battalion of ghasts to invade Midport Village. See, this is where I wish the villagers weren't pacifists, because all they did was just run and scream when the piglin army showed up. And there was a quick llama scene. The piglins do not care about the llama. They just ran past him. And then the only people that were fighting the piglins were the main characters. And the Iron Golem, was he like in the bathroom taking a dump or something? Because he doesn't even show up till like the very last second, at the very end. Like, you're the village security guy. Like, do your job, defend the village. So they do that. So they go fighting, and then Chungus and Steve meet, and they're like, "Oh, I know you. Stand back. This guy's mine." And then Jason's like, "Nah, I'm gonna fight him." He knocks out Steve with the bucket. How did the fight go between Jason versus Chungus?
Chungus obviously won.
Yep. He was going to kill Jason, but the Iron Golem finished wiping his ass from the dump he took and went just smacks Chungus away. And then meanwhile, there was an aerial attack from the gas. Yeah, they're not that precise in the game. They were doing strafing runs. They were doing bombing runs on the village. They can't do that in the game. Let's just put it out. There's a lot of inaccuracies with this movie that doesn't line up with the game. That's for sure. Emma and the lady decide to separate from them again, and because they wanted to chase after that villager that was selling the map, but that villager's like, "Nah, fuck you, I'm out of here." And then the boys, they like go up to this mountain, and then they're like, "We gotta get going." And this is a major plot hole. How does Steve have 2 elytra wings when he hasn't beaten the Ender Dragon yet? He hasn't been to the end yet. He's explicitly said that in the movie. So how did he get the elytra wings? Unless some villager sold it to him, which I think is possible. I think villagers can sell elytras. I don't know. Someone fact check me in the comments if that's true or not. So he puts it on them, but he forgets to do it for himself. Jason pushes Henry first, so that's child endangerment right there. He pushes Henry off the cliff, expecting him to just fly. And then Steve forgot to bring wings for himself. He does another meme, coming in hot, and dies off the cliff. And we have one of the most ridiculous and silly scenes in the whole movie. Jack Black riding Jason Momoa. Now, in the first screening when I watched it, the theater was dying of laughter. I heard people go like, they should just 69 at this point, because like there a lot of the positions they were doing, it was so stupid. Now when we watched it, the lady behind us was just I was afraid she was going to pass out, because she was just laughing so hard at that scene of just Jason and Jack Black holding each other in the air. And then that's when the seats were also just going off with the shaking, and the drink was spilling and all that. So to explain that scene a little bit, like what were they doing? What were the two middle-aged men doing?
So there was like a gas shot at a mountain, and then it created like a small hole. So they're trying to like not go over but through the mountain, and then they're trying to like fit.
So they do a man sandwich, very close, borderline kissing. They were like literally about to kiss, and they did that, and they somehow evaded the gas. Meanwhile, Henry was just on his own. He just had to deal with one piglin, and then they crashed. They crashed because I think their elytras broke or something. So they crashed and they start tumbling. And that's when Jack Black says another meme, water bucket, release. And then they land on the ground, scared a bunch of pandas. There was literally the scene, 2 pandas made love and had a baby right before they crashed into them. I guess that makes sense. I mean, Jack Black is Poe. Well, he is Kung Fu Pandas. He's just hanging out with the pandas. Oh yeah, in the very beginning montage, there's another quick scene of Jack Black dancing with the pandas. That was a little weird. But anyways, back to again, the pandas, they're cute, but like the bees, they don't serve much of a purpose. They were just there. They were just there for like one scene. So the pandas get caught up in the collision, and then Henry's like, all right, which way to the Woodland Mansion? Technically, they could just go straight to the mansion, but Jason Momoa was blackmailing Steve with the cube. He's like, you help me get those diamonds. I heard you have a secret stash of diamonds hidden away in the mine. We get those diamonds, I'll give you the orb. So they took an unnecessary detour through the mountain to get to the mines to get the diamond stash. Oh, and then back in the Nether, General Chungus is like, and it's not my best day. Oh, am I getting fired? And then Mongolia's like, nah, Chungus, you are a failure. And then she summons in this big piglin with like, what was the thing he had on his arm? Like a plasma gun?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so she...
Oh, but didn't she kill Chungus?
She killed Chungus. Oh, she also killed a child. You know, like the child, like the drawing. Oh, that's cute. But you're not going to find me gold of that. And just stabs him with a knife. Child endangerment, guys. And then it briefly cuts again to the real world, which... What is going on with the green villager and her principal?
They didn't even eat their dinner.
They were just sitting there giggling at each other. Bro, the villager, when his eyebrows went off, he's like, hey, oh, he's freaky. But there was a cameo from Jeb. I don't know if you caught it. He was the waiter. He like put down the food on the table. That was Jeb. And I'm sure a lot of you watching are very well aware who Jeb was. You didn't know who he was, right, when he appeared. Well, he is the... Okay, Notch created Minecraft, the game. But obviously Notch sold the game. He's now just, he's on the countryside living a good life. He handed Jeb the reins. So Jeb is the lead developer of Minecraft. So he is important. He's an important guy. Without him, Minecraft would not continue if it wasn't for Jeb. So he's the guy who's responsible for the updates and keeping the game alive. It's all on him. So he has a quick cameo as a waiter. I think from all the game developers, Blizzard went through a bunch of game developers, right? Like they had like a whole like controversy of the developers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think Jeb has been the longest standing game developer with no controversies, no issues, and hasn't dealt with any problems with the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's
probably Nintendo is like
has
employees that are been there for a long time.
Yeah. So there's that. And then there was a very corny joke where they're like, is he Finnish? No, I think he's Swedish. Like, what? Like, I know the Minecraft was developed by Swedish people, so I guess that's a way to reference it. Jeb is Swedish, so Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of weird. But anyways, let's go back. Let's go back. Chungus gets executed. The Hoglin kills him, and then she sends the Hoglin out, the big hog, to go after them. And then the Emma and the lady try to buy, or they try to build a boat to go after the villager. But he's like, He literally does that. And he just doesn't want any. He just doesn't want their money for some reason. If I was that villager, I'll sell you a map. I want my money. Like I want my emeralds. So there's that. They go. So they ultimately they threw the towel on the. They're like, nah, we're not gonna get the map. We're just gonna find them. So they leave. So going back to the guys, they go into the mountain, into the mines. So what happens in that scene?
They find diamonds, or there's a whole bunch of traps everywhere. Yeah. And then Jason Momoa like triggers one of them, and then arrows start flying everywhere, and then they find the diamonds.
And I think that's when Henry learns that this was not needed. It was just a waste of time. So he's pretty mad about that. And then as they're not even done looting diamonds, the hog already finds them. Like that was quick. That took like no effort for the hog to find them. So like, oh shoot, the big guy's coming. We gotta run. So they go into the minecart, which I gotta say it's one of the worst looking tracks I've ever seen. Like, how do you have such a distance between each powered rails? You have to do a power rail every 5 blocks to keep it going. So that's on Steve. You know, he can't blame anyone but himself for building such a horrible track system. But anyways, they hop in the minecart. They go, and then the minecart stops.
One of them has to push the minecart manually. And then I think they slap a creeper.
So the room, it's dark, so they light up a torch, and then it was just a field of creepers. Apparently it's like a creeper farm, and Jason's like, who's breeding these things? I guess in the game, you would breed these guys to farm gunpowder. So they don't really explain that in the movie, but you do that to get gunpowder. And then for some reason, the creepers decide to approach them very slowly. Now, see, if this was the game, your PC would blow up with that many creepers in the room, and they all go off. Your PC is done. So the creepers decide to slowly approach them, giving them time to get off the minecart, push the minecart, and slap the creepers, and fight back. And then the hog comes in, and for some reason the big hog triggers all the creepers. As he's chasing after him, all the creepers behind him are just going off and exploding. So, like I said, if this was in the actual game, your console/PC would also be going up in flames. So that happened. Eventually, they hit the powered rail, and then they go zooming out of the mine shaft. Big explosion behind them. Literally looks like a Star Wars scene when like the Millennium Falcon flies out of the Death Star as it explodes. They do that, and then Henry is like, why'd you do that, man? I'm mad at you now. And yeah, there's like conflict there. And then Jason's like, you don't get it. I'm broke. I need those diamonds so I can get money. And then they move on to the Woodland Mansion from there.
Oh, the other two characters find Dennis in the forest.
Ah, that's right. They do. And they're just casually beating up a zombie while talking about life problems too. That was kind of funny. Like the zombie gets knocked down. He gets back up, tries to go after them, and then they knock his ass out again. He gets back up, fixes his head, tries to kill them for a third time, and you're like, pow! So that zombie just got abused. And then eventually they come across Dennis. Why did they retame him? I don't know. Because that's not how dogs work in the game. Dogs don't need a retame. Just do it once, and they're yours forever until they die. So anyways, so they go back, and then eventually, the guys come across the Woodland Mansion. They're there. Steve gives them a very messy but detailed plan of the layout of the mansion. He's like, all right, this is what we gotta do, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, oh, we need a distraction. What kind of distraction did they give to the pillagers?
Saxophones.
wearing mushroom helmets, and they sang like a birthday song or something. Yeah. And then Henry sneaks in. Oh, he tries to sneak in, but he gets caught very quickly. The pillagers found him like right away. Steve and Jason also gets captured by the pillagers.
They're in this boxing arena, and then a chicken's there. This child zombie goes on the chicken, and then Steve says, "Chicken jockey."
The infamous scene happens there. Chicken jockey. And how did our theater react to it? Did people just quote and clap?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. My first viewing of it, everyone stands up. Chicken jockey! I was like, let's go. The theater just erupts into chaos. But because we had a much quieter reaction, I actually got to see what happens next in the scene. So the chicken jockey just beats the shit out of Jason Momoa. He was like no match for it. And meanwhile, Henry's like sneaking around the storage room. Has he escaped the pillagers by that point? So he's in the storage room. And then he finds the casing for the Tesseract, for the cube. And then that's when he comes across an Enderman. Oh, before that, he looked into the Enderman's eyes. And the Enderman's like,
Yeah.
hypnotizes him. There was a quick Herobrine reference. Okay, so you remember how like when he gets hypnotized by the Enderman, it cuts to all the characters with purple eyes saying bad stuff to him. When it cuts to Steve, he had white eyes. So that was a nod to Herobrine. It wasn't intentional, though. Turns out, the director said there was just a problem with rendering. Like, they tried over and over again, but they couldn't get the color right, so let's just leave it as white. So that's actually, I don't know if that's intentional or not. I don't know if that's believable. It sounds too good to be true. But, yeah, I guess that's a Herobrine Easter egg. So, going back to the boxing fight, Jason is getting his ass whooped by the chicken jockey. Even the chicken is fighting too. It's not just the baby zombie. The chicken is like biting his leg and trying to like kill him. Eventually, he like knocks the baby zombie up. The baby zombie starts crying. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry. You're okay." And Steve is like, "No, he's got a heart of a demon." And then, yeah, he was right. The baby zombie bites him, continues to beat the shit out of Jason. Eventually, Henry kills the Enderman, gets an Ender Pearl back, which actually is important and plays into the story later on. And then he I think after he kills the Enderman, he tries to like go back and find him. Now, this is another funny scene. Steve eventually breaks free of his like handcuffs or ropes. He dives and he knocks the baby zombie out with his forehead. And the baby zombie goes flying across the room and into it and like just gets knocked out. So, child endangerment, guys. Child endangerment. Yeah, so the chicken jockey fight wraps up there. For some reason, the pillagers don't pursue them. The pillagers are just standing there like, "Arr!" just like cheering. And then Henry finds them. They escape the mansion. Oh, turns out, what was her name again? Magodesh? No.
Magosha.
Magosha shows up with her gas convoy. And then what happens then? What happens to Jason Momoa in that scene?
He blows himself up. Yep. Or the bridge.
He sacrifices himself. And he sends... and then Henry and Steve go crashing. Like they launch onto a gas. Steve goes, "Slime cube." That was I mean, they didn't show it in the trailer, so that would have been I think that would have been a meme if that was in the trailer. So that happened, and then they crash. Screen goes black, and then turns out Emma and the lady and Dennis finds them, and they brought them back to the mushroom house, the big old red one, and then. Yeah, so then they're reunited. Dennis is reunited with Steve. That was a wholesome moment there. At the same time, Magosha gets the cube, and she's like, "All right, we are now going to..." What were they going to do with the cube? Activate the portal or something?
Yeah, and make it night.
Make it night, yeah. And then the Piglin army comes out. And then now we can talk about the scene. Where they're like, "We got to fight back," and then... Steve's like, "I want to do it. Let's do it." Emma's like, "I hate the piglins. Let's fight them." And then Steve says,
Minecraft.
first we mine, then we craft. Let's Minecraft! All right, what do you want to say about that scene?
That was a bit forced. Yeah.
How so? How was that forced?
I don't know. Like, I think the director just wanted someone to say Minecraft, and they found a way to do it. Also, it was like a bit cringy for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, it is cringy. You're not wrong. It is cringy. But in in my first viewing, when he said that, he's like, "Let's Minecraft," and then the theater went, "Yeah, let's go!" And just start applauding. Our theater, everyone's like, whatever. It's whatever. So that happens, and then, after, so their game plan was Steve was going to get his diamond armor full set, and then Henry's like, let's build an Iron Golem army. So they do that. They build an Iron Golem army. They do that. How did he build that Swiftness Golem? I'm trying to remember.
He had Swiftness boots.
Yeah,
and
Swiftness boots, and instead of putting a pumpkin on the iron shape, they put the boots on it. That created the Swiftness Golem. And then the lady went to, what did she do? I think she went to like build a wolf army with Dennis.
Yeah.
So they did that. And then the piglins come out. Malgodesh is like, all right, time to invade. Let's go. And I think the zombies and skeletons joined them, right? Or was it still just the pigmen?
Yeah, I think it's just a pygmy. Okay. Yeah.
The iron golems march towards the piglins to meet them. And she was like, newsflash, iron golems don't attack unless provoked, which is false. That is not true. Iron golems are hostile towards all mobs, like all monsters. They will attack. They will not attack creepers. Creepers are the only mobs they don't attack for some reason. But every other hostile mob, an iron golem sees them, oh yeah, it's on sight. They will go after them and beat the shit out of them. Now the rule of iron golems will not attack unless provoked, that applies to players. It applies to players like us. If we attack the iron golems, then they will turn on us and kill us. That's not the same with hostile mobs. So that fact is wrong. Which, anyways, that didn't change anything because Travis, the mini piglin, decides to shoot an arrow at the Swiftness Golem of all the golems. And she's like, well done, Travis. Well, goddamn it, Travis. You had one job. The golem goes up to Travis and sends him to like the next dimension. Sends him flying, and then the war erupts. Clearly, we can see which army has the upper hand. One army is significantly stronger than the other. So, wasn't there a scene where the Swiftness Golem just goes super sonic mode, just like through the army? Yeah. So he does that, and then. But
the Swiftness Golem was also fighting the bigger pig.
Oh yeah, that was a cool scene when they like charge at each other. It was so cinematic, like the proper 1v1 boss fight.
Anime fight scene.
Anime fight scene, exactly. And then Emma and Henry, what were they doing again? Oh, Henry was going to like launch himself up to the portal.
Yeah,
to deactivate
using the Ender Pearl. To
deactivate the cube. He does that. And then we have the boss fight. Steve shows up with not even full diamond armor. Did you notice he didn't have the leggings? He had everything but the leggings.
Oh.
But it was so funny to see Jack Black in a diamond armor suit. It didn't look right, at least for me. What'd you think of that?
Yeah, it looks too blocky.
Yeah, it looks very off. And the diamond sword was enchanted, though. I don't know if you could tell, but it was enchanted. There was like a little purple glow around it, so it was enchanted. Well, his armor was useless because he fights Malgodesh, like the 1v1 boss fight. She just one-shots his chest plate. Like, the chest plate is the strongest piece in the armor set. She one-shots it. Like, what? It just shatters it like glass. What's the point? What's the point of the armor? So you're just left with Jack Black with a squishy diamond helmet condensed on his skull and diamond boots, and he's fighting Godesh, but she summons the big hog to go after the kids, or as she likes to call them, the roundlings. And then that's when the swiftness golem stops them again. That 1v1 fight. The hog actually wins the fight. He shoots the swiftness golem away, and then he shoots the portal, and then sends Henry flying. And everyone's like, "No, Henry's gonna die!" You know, like he's like falling to his death, slow motion. You have that scene where Jack Black looks over. He's like, "No!" It looks so forced. And then surprise, surprise, Jason Momoa didn't die. He actually survived. He comes swooping him in his new gas.
He rescues Henry.
Yep, and he teaches Henry how to shoot the fireballs, poking his testicles. Yeah. He's like, how'd you learn to do that? Don't ask. That was quite funny. And then they blow up the portal. Easy work. Crystal goes flying. Turns back to day. All the piglins zombify. All the zombies burn up. All the skeletons burn up. Oh, also, I missed that part. When after the hog knocks out the swiftness golem, the lady shows up with Dennis and the wolf army. The wolves don't really do anything. They just attack one person. That's the big hog. They don't even go after the other piglins. And I feel like because they want to keep this movie PG-13, they weren't going to show the hog shooting the wolves with his gun because that would be disturbing for the kids. That would be very violent in their eyes. Realistically, if this movie wasn't PG-13, I am pretty sure the hog would just crush all the wolves and shoot them with his gun. So eventually he fends off the wolves. The portal gets destroyed. The big hog is actually the only one who didn't get zombified. Everyone else did. And he catches the cube, but the swiftness golem comes back. The swiftness golem is clearly pissed off. He's like, I'm not losing to this fat fuck.
Yeah, they fight, and then the iron golem wins.
The swiftness golem launches the hog high into the air,
and then
knocks it straight down. And then the cube ends up back in Emma's hands. The day is saved.
She tries to stab Steve
twice.
Maybe 3 times, but the last time was very weak.
She tries to throw it. Yeah. Come here, I have something to tell you. Do you have a knife that can stab me? Nah. And then she tries to, it's so casual that he just pats away the knife. He's like, come on now. In a real assassination attempt, let's say I go up to you, right? And I just spring a knife at you. You're just like, what are you doing, dude? Slaps the knife away. Okay. So that happens. And then, does she die at the end?
No, she just falls on the ground.
So she's still alive.
I think so.
So I'm pretty sure her robes protected her from getting zombified.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that happened. And then happy ending. For some reason, the entire village decides to follow our main characters back to the portal. You catch that? Just an army of villagers behind them. They go back to the portal and they're like, well, Steve, do you want to come home? And he's like, I don't know. I think I found my place here. And I got confused at first because that's when we have another scene where Steve sings a song to Dennis. What do you think of that song compared to Steve's Lava Chicken?
The Lava Chicken's better.
Okay. Well, what do you think of that scene when he sings to Dennis?
I don't know. It was just another generic song.
Yeah. So in my first viewing, after he sings that song, my theater, everyone stands up. Beautiful. It was so funny. And then as for our viewing, it was just laughter. That's it. People just laughed at him singing. Now, actually, I was confused at first why Dennis was going back to the real world. But after watching it with you, I actually understand now. So Dennis is going back because he's going to help out the lady's animal organization, her charity.
Yeah.
He was going to represent the animals with her. And so that happened. So the characters go back. Jason and Jack Black have the bonding moment. I'll never forget you. The dap up, the very forced dap up. And eventually they go back, and Emma's like, you sure you can come back, Steve? The real world can really use your work. And then they go back. Steve thinks for a bit. The villagers are just looking at him like, what's your decision? Oh, by the way, when Steve was singing that song to Dennis, did you catch the Wandering Trader cry?
No.
At the very end of the song, it like quickly cuts to the Wandering Trader. And you can see like tears coming down his eyes. The Wandering Trader was crying from that. But anyways, yeah, the villagers, I don't know, what was the point of them being there? We're just there to watch, spectate.
I guess so.
Eventually, Steve is like, screw it, I'm going to go back. So he goes with them back into the real world.
They're like singing a song in like Jason's store.
Yeah.
They make a video game, some generic title. And then the unemployed villager and the principal get married.
That was during the credits.
Yeah.
She has now a new job, which is to be a martial arts teacher. Henry got his jet back to work, so now he's earned the respect of the school. And then Dennis is now a mascot for the ladies' petting zoo. Or was it petting zoo? Or was it just like an animal shelter or something?
Don't remember.
Well, anyways, Dennis is... I mean, if your animal shelter had a blocky looking dog, I'm pretty sure it can be a good selling point. So the movie kind of ends there. Yeah, the movie kind of ends there. Everyone's having a happy ending. And then during the credits, the villager speaks. And he's British. He's British. Matt Berry voices him.
I was too focused on the accent.
Okay. The villager and the principal, they're like in a room or something. And then the teacher comes in. Turns out the teacher was the one who divorced with the principal. And he's like, oh, his name is Clemente. I remember. He's like, you gotta be kidding me. This is the guy you're gonna marry? Like, this is the guy you left me with? And he's like, I don't want to hear anything about a Clemente. And then the villager suddenly starts speaking in a British accent. She's right, Clemente. Is that what you were focusing on?
Yeah.
Just like listening to him talk. I wish they got Element Animation to voice the villagers, because Villager News is a goated series on YouTube. They should have gotten him to voice the villager. But I'm happy with taking a British guy voicing the villager. And that's pretty fun. Did you know Matt Berry was actually he was the first choice to play Steve. But because of scheduling conflicts, he couldn't make it, so they switched to Jack Black. So instead, he just voiced the villager at the end. So what happens in that scene then? Where he proposes to her?
Yeah, and the principal says yes.
Would you marry me? And she's like, yes. And hearts come out of her. Now, remember what happens in the game. When hearts come out of animals, what happens? They make love and have a baby. So I think that's a sign. That might be a sign. And then that's the credit scene. And then what about the post-credit scene?
So Steve visits his old house. And then someone opens the door and is like, what's your name? Or no, it was like, do you know about the chest at the back of the room? And then it says yes. And then, what's your name? And then the person says Alex. And then the movie ends.
Safe to say there's going to be a sequel then with Alex. They didn't show who's playing Alex. They just showed her back. We don't know who's the actress that plays her. She said, hey, do you want to come in? My name is Alex. I feel like that was a little forced dialogue. You could have just said, what's your name? Alex. That's it. He's just, hey, do you want to come in? My name is Alex. Like, what? That felt kind of forced. I'm not going to lie. In my first viewing, the theater erupted again when she said, my name is Alex. Everyone's like, oh my God, there's going to be Alex. Our theater, no one cared. No one cared. So, what do you think of that post-credit scene?
Yeah, a bit forced. And then they're just hinting at like a sequel.
Do you think they will do a sequel?
A Minecraft sequel. That's the title. I don't know. Probably, because this movie's doing well.
With Alex as the main character, or would she be a side character with Steve?
Maybe like the main character. I don't know.
That's one way to set up for sequels. So yeah, we went through the whole movie. So overall, what were your thoughts on it? What was your review on the? You said the story felt rushed, right? What could they have done then?
Maybe like extend like the Lava Chicken song, and also like, oh, yeah, that was like other songs, and like maybe yeah, just extend scenes in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, add more content.
I feel they didn't draw enough content from the game, especially with the Nether, right? So, you know what I feel like they could have done? I feel like the next villain can be the Ender Dragon. And if they want to do a trilogy, the final film, third film, Herobrine. Right? So they can up the stakes. They start with a pretty tame villain. What'd you think of Bangladesh, though, as a villain? She's new. She's not from the game. She's a completely new character.
I don't know. It was bad back posture. Her backstory wasn't that great.
Getting humiliated at Nether's Got Talent.
Yeah. I think the dagger is too overpowered.
Yeah. More than her staff, actually. Did you recognize the song she was dancing to in that Nether's Got Talent scene? It's actually from the music disc in the game. It's one of the music discs you put in the jukebox. That's the Nether disc. Next time we play, I'll show you.
Oh, okay.
But she was dancing to that song. So, yeah, a 6 out of 10. I think that's a fair score for the story. It is definitely not the greatest. But I feel like they've done enough referencing to the game, but they're not really accurate. As I mentioned throughout this review, there's been multiple inaccuracies with the game, like between the movie and the game. Do you think that do you think some of the looks of the stuff they do, like the villages, do you think it translates well from the game into live action?
Yeah, I think so. Especially like how the fur looks on like also the different animals. Kind of looks good, and the creeper.
What about the villagers? Because some people were terrified of the villagers when they were first revealed.
Yeah, you kind of get used to how they look during the movie. I like how the wandering trader's like cloaks moves.
What was your score on the story again?
6.5.
And yeah, experience 10 out of 10. Like, you can't manifest this at home. So, if you can, seriously, go out to a theater and watch it for a good time. Not for a great story, but for a good time. Overall, I think there is potential. And I think a lot of the memes, obviously, I think without the memes, this movie probably would have flopped, I want to say. Like, the critics score was 47%. Audience score was 87%. But I'm pretty sure a lot of that high scoring came from the experience and the memes and the chicken jockey moments. Like, I think that is what contributed to the high score. Now, before we wrap up this section and move on to the merch, would you recommend this movie? And if so, how should they handle the memes? How should they react to the memes?
You can watch the movie, but just don't throw popcorn everywhere and make a huge mess in the theater. If you really like the movie, I guess you can buy it, like when it comes digitally or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Or you can pirate it. Actually, don't right now at this time. Don't pirate it because you get an unfinished version of it on the pirated sites, and a lot of CGI is wonky because it's not finished. So you just have like Jack Black and Jason Momoa walking in, but you have like pixels just moving behind them. It looks kind of bad. So I wouldn't recommend you pirating it at this moment. Not that you should pirate movies in general, and just putting it out there. But if you are pirating it, now is not the time. But yeah, so basically what Santos said, it's great to cheer and clap. Like, I'm all for it. I love theater reactions, but just don't just don't make a mess. Don't throw your popcorn. Don't bring in a live chicken. Don't take your shirt off and like. Have you seen some of the videos? They like take their shirt off and they're just running around the theater. Like, if the movie causes the theater to take security measures to make sure the casual viewer, the casual moviegoer, doesn't get disturbed and can enjoy the movie, that's a concern. So, eat the popcorn. It should be in your stomach and not on the floor. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. But on the topic of popcorn, oh man, we got so much stuff to look at here. But yeah, the movie, definitely, I think from 2025 is going to be one of the biggest movies of this year. I think maybe Fantastic Four might top that. Maybe Fantastic Four might top it. We'll see. Because last year's big movies were Deadpool and Wolverine and Wicked. So we still have many months to go with this year, but I think as of now, a Minecraft movie absolutely holds the title for biggest opening and biggest movie of the year. So do you think, before we end this, do you think as a Minecraft player, you were satisfied with this movie?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting too much from it.
Do you think the kids would have enjoyed the movie?
Yeah, I guess if they understand what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, I can totally understand the parents if they get confused with because I assume a majority of the parents don't play the game, so they probably won't. Like, if I showed my parents this movie, they're probably not gonna understand a lot of the stuff in the movie. Like, what's that? What's that? Like, what's a creeper? Like, they won't really know. So, yeah, big movie, lots to look at because, good God, I went absolutely nuts for the merch. This movie, oh my God, I've never had to put so much effort into getting the merch than this movie. Like, I swear, even for like the Deadpool and Wolverine stuff, we reviewed a bunch of the popular merch, but I only went to 2 theaters and I was able to get everything. I had to go on a whole tour throughout the whole city to get the merch for this. I think I visited almost every single theater in the city except for the downtown ones. Those 2 I didn't go. But every other theater in the city, you might have seen me there at one point. I'm like, the merch is so popular. You can't even make this up, especially the chicken jockey popcorn buckets. I wonder why it's so popular. I kid you not, the morning, I showed you guys too, I took a photo. The morning the theater got the stuff, I went there at like 11 o'clock. That was when the theater opened. I went in 10 minutes after it opened. I was the second person in line. When I was at the counter and I got the bucket, I turned around. There's a huge lineup behind me, lining up to get the buckets. Crazy work. So I'll explain all that in a second because what we have here is that this was surprisingly very easy to get. This is the merch from Landmark. So we're going to do this by theater. So the Landmark stuff had these 2, which is pretty solid. You also saw the prices. You guys were like, goodness, that's expensive. And you ate the popcorn already. So Landmark got their stuff right on the dot. They got their stuff a day before the movie dropped. So I was able to go the Thursday before the movie release. I got to the theater. It was quiet. There was like 1 or 2 families there. No disturbances. I was just able to walk up to the counter and grab these without much issue. But I'm pretty sure at this point in time, it's all sold out. I'm pretty sure. So that's why we're going to be reviewing these first. So both of these are popcorn buckets. So which one do you want to look at first?
The creeper one.
All right. So this is the creeper bucket. This one will set you about $30. I actually managed to get this by itself. I didn't need to pay extra to get popcorn. The pickaxe, I can't say the same. But this creeper, I was able to get it on its own. So that's pretty solid. So, review it.
I like the texturing or the mold from the plastic. There's also bits of like dark paint, I guess. What makes it more realistic, I guess. Yeah, you just pry open his head, and you fit the popcorn in
There's a
there.
lot of room in there, though.
Yeah,
You put a lot of popcorn in there.
it won't fill up the legs. It just fills up the body part. Yeah,
What'd you give it?
solid 8.
8 out of 10. There we go. Next up, this one was a pretty. This one wasn't super popular, but this one got some attraction. This is the pickaxe bucket. So this one, I had to get popcorn with it. You couldn't buy this on its own, so I got the popcorn on its side. Keep in mind, anyone who's out there getting popcorn buckets, this is a good tip. If you don't want the popcorn in this because you want to keep the bucket clean, ask for them to just give you a large popcorn on the side. They won't charge you extra for a paper bag, so you're better off just getting it on the side. But this one, you had to get the full combo, so it wasn't just the popcorn. So I ended up getting the cookies, the candy, and the drink with it. And all I wanted was just this, and then I'm just stuck with a bunch of food. But regardless, this will set you a hefty sum of $30 as well, which actually isn't that bad because look at this. This is a whole pickaxe. Not too shabby. And the idea is you put all the popcorn in here. So when you're watching it, you're just doing this. That's what you do.
But if you're in like the 4D theater,
Oh yeah,
you're
no,
shaking,
yeah,
and then
that's,
it's gonna like hit
that's
you in
gonna
the
knock
head.
you out.
I don't know. Like the pickaxe is like too wide. Well, it's wide because you have to put popcorn in here, but I guess this wasn't the right object to make into a popcorn bucket.
Yeah, should have been like a bucket, like a Minecraft
Yeah.
bucket.
But I guess this is like pickaxe is iconic to Minecraft, so it'll attract more people into buying this. Yeah, it just feels cheap, not like, or it feels like more bendy than the creeper one. So I'll give this like a 6.
So the creeper one takes the win for
Yeah.
the landmark buckets. And I have to say,
I agree.
like, this is a cool gimmick. I see the vision with this. It's a cool idea, but in the actual execution of it, yeah, it's not really fail safe. You can just do this, and all the popcorn is just gonna come spilling out. At least with the creeper, there's a lid, right? So even if you knock it over, at least a lot of the popcorn will still be contained. This is over. The second you flip this, it's all the popcorn's coming out. So there you go. So those are the landmark buckets. I didn't really struggle too much. Actually, put this over there. I didn't really struggle too much with these buckets. I can't say the same with the Cineplex stuff, but we're not going to get into that one yet. The next bucket here is only available in the US. You can't even buy it here in Canada.
What theater is it from?
I think it's AMC or yeah, it's either AMC or Cinemark. It's an American theater, obviously, so any people living in the US, they can just go to their local theater and probably find this. Me being up here in Canada, I had to put a little extra effort into buying this. Basically, what I did is I had a fellow who was going to the US for a short business trip, and I just asked him, hey, on your way back, can you stop by an AMC and buy me this pink sheep popcorn bucket? And that's what he did. So shout out to him. Let's open it. Let's review it. Give a decent review on this, please, because this one was not easy to buy.
It's bumpy, so it's like, I guess the molding is kind of good, but I wish there was more like paint from like what the creeper had. The face is kind of goofy, which is a positive, I guess. Yeah, you can fit a lot of popcorn in here.
Yeah. Even then, you can put other stuff in it if it's not popcorn. It's good storage. Yeah.
Also, it locks in.
Yeah, there's a
so
lock. I want to say. I was going to
you
say that. There's a lock on the lid, which is pretty.
If you like knock it over, it won't spill everywhere. Give it a 8.5.
I mean, for the Canadian viewers who may want to buy this, good luck. This is a little hard to find. But what do you think? Just with the, if this was easy to get, do you think this would be popular?
Yeah, I think so, but not as popular as like the chicken jock.
We'll get into that one in a second. That one's the holy grail. That's the holy grail. But this one, what'd you give this?
8.5.
8.5. I'd probably give this an. It's pretty robust, actually. It feels high quality. And I think this was 15 USD, so or roughly 20 bucks Canadian, which is actually ironically cheaper than the creeper and the pickaxe. So now, if you were to buy this on eBay, then you're probably looking at like $100 plus. Like scalpers are not kidding when it comes to popcorn buckets. But for retail, yeah, 20 bucks is not too bad. Obviously, my friend ate up all the popcorn. So obviously I didn't get I don't want the popcorn anyway, so this is good. What I will do is put the plastic bag in here. There we go. So I'll never lose the plastic bag. See? Good storage. Even if it's not popcorn. This is actually great for like putting like Lego or small stuff. Stationery too. Put that all in here. So there you go. The pink sheep bucket. There we go. Next up, also from AMC. Because obviously I'm not gonna send my friend just to get one popcorn bucket. I told him to get everything he could find there. So the same theater also had this cup. Go for it. Don't open the straw though.
So there's Dennis in there in the overworld. I wish they added like a portal or what. Yeah, like what's on the cup here to the actual like real world. The quality is good. This is just a stock or like a
Stock photo.
A stock photo.
Yeah.
Size, but the top is like the main selling point, I guess.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What is on the top? What is that?
Just some trees, grass, and a Dennis on top. Some flowers. And of course you can put the straw in there.
You actually fit it in? Oh yeah, okay, there's no seal or anything. Let's do this. There you go. That's the imagine the plastic wrap is off. This is the idea of it. I mean, it feels you know those like those Starbucks thermoses? Those
Yeah.
Starbucks cups. This is what it feels like. Because it's quite hard plastic. Pretty sturdy as well. Dennis looks kind of goofy though, I will say.
Is it a screw on?
You sure you can yeah.
I guess I'll give this like a 8.5 too.
It's pretty
like
high quality.
High quality,
cup.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember how much it was. I think it was actually the same price as the pink sheep bucket. So
Also, what's with the QR code?
that's a great question. You want to try that?
It's all on like all the merch we kind of reviewed.
Wait, we'll test that at the end. But I don't know. It might be different for these two because these are American. These are American.
Yeah, it has
figures.
like the.
Yeah, those two are from Canada. These two are Americans. I don't know.
No one has the same QR.
Oh, okay. Maybe it doesn't matter then. Overall, I'll give this a 7 out of 10 as well. I just wish they made Dennis look a little better. I know you can't really see it on camera, but editor put up a image of it. Look how goofy Dennis looks. He's like cross-eyed a little bit. I do like the pink trees. It's a cool attention to detail. Imagine drinking Prime out of this. Like, straw is pretty long. Yeah, nice. Good cup. And then the last thing from AMC is actually this trick or treat bucket or this candy bucket, but inside is all the toppers for the cup. So let's just
take this cup.
Okay. This is like, when you go trick or treating, you put this is like for candy, store candy. Also from AMC, same theater.
Yeah, it's just a generic bucket.
I mean, you can still probably put popcorn
Yeah.
in it, just not a lot.
Well, of course, metal's high quality, so.
It was actually bent up too. Look, It's really flexible.
Okay, maybe not as high quality.
Yeah.
I don't know. The picture's good. I'd give it just a 7.
7. I'll give this a 6. I mean, this was probably the least exciting thing I got from the 3 AMC stuff here. Obviously, the pink sheep bucket takes first place. This is last place. It's nothing exciting. I don't think you'll miss much if you don't buy this. This was just there. I just told my friend to get everything that was available in the theater. I told him to buy it. So I didn't ask him to pick this one, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I feel like I see this better with like in the dorm room. You stick all your pencils, erasers, rulers. You put all that in here. It's better storage for like stationery. But yeah, you can probably go trick-or-treating with this. Assuming you're not planning on getting a lot of candy. There you go. So, the AMC stuff, which one is the best?
Yeah, the sheep.
I mean, who saw that coming? All right. Last, but definitely not the least, and the biggest one of all, we have the Cineplex stuff. Lots of stuff from Cineplex. Most popular buckets are from Cineplex. The Chicken Jockey, the Holy Grail. So I think we're going to review that one last, just for the suspense. Let's do the drinks first, the cups first. So this doesn't look like a cup from a distance, but I can assure you it is. Go for it. Yeah, but you're supposed to drink out of this.
Seems heavy.
So this is a creeper cup or drinking thing. So I bought this the same time as the Chicken Jockey. Luckily, they had both at the same time, but they didn't have the TNT bucket that day, so I had to go back to the theater at a different time to buy the TNT bucket. But this was a pretty cool one too.
So you just twist off his head. Yeah, you put the drink in there.
Dude, imagine the piss you're gonna take after drinking this. That can put a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's heavy, or heavier than a regular cup. Oh, the outside's like rubber. Yeah.
Oh, well, also when you buy this, it also comes with a drink, but they will just give you a large size drink instead of putting it in there for you. So what do you think?
Give it a, I don't know, 7. It's just a creeper head.
Can you see this as a cup, or when you first looked at this, did you think of this as a cup, something to drink out of?
Without the straw, I thought it was like another popcorn bucket.
Yeah. The straw, it's sold separately. Like, it's part of the package, but when you buy this, make sure to ask them to give you a straw too. I almost forgot, and I had to go back to the theater and say, "Oh, excuse me, I forgot to get my straw," and they had to give this to me. So please remember, if you buy this, ask them for the straw too. It's so important. This is not a cheap plastic straw. It's high quality. So there you go. What'd you give this out of?
7.
7. I will also give this a 7. It's a cool gimmick. Next up, we have. Okay, these are duplicates, and I wanted to do this on camera, but one of these is for you, because obviously I don't need 3 cups. So, here you go. This one has a scratch. This one I'll probably give away, so I'll give you one of these cups. Probably give you this one. I'm not going to give you the scratch one. You can look at it, though. That's the scratched one.
Wait, is that actually removable? No. Okay.
No, I just, the paint just genuinely came off with this. So this is one of the cups. I think this is Cineplex exclusive. I don't think any of the theaters in the U.S. actually has this cup too. So this is Cineplex exclusive. Why do I have 3 copies? Don't ask. I actually had 4, but I gave one of them away already. So the other cup this one is available in the U.S. I don't know about this one, but this one is in the U.S. as well. If you buy the kids combo, the mini combo with like the small box, I mean, I gave you it, the small box with the popcorn, and then you get a mini cup of it, you will get this mini cup as well. And a lot of the American theaters will also have this mini cup. Now, that only got one because I'm not going to buy 4 boxes of popcorn. So I just got one here. And, of course, all these cups has toppers. Obviously, the toppers are the main selling factors. Not the cups themselves, but the toppers that come with it. And both of these cups, you can apply the toppers on. So, I actually got pretty lucky because the first week I went, when I bought all the popcorn tins, all of this, the cups were not in stock yet. The theaters did not get any of the shipments yet. I had to go back 2 days before we watched it, so that was the week after. They just got it, so I was lucky. I had to really time all these things. You see, I'm putting so much effort into getting these things. Goodness gracious! But I do have some duplicates here, but I only have one chicken jockey. You can probably guess why. That was the one topper that was sold out. Everything else, yeah, that was pretty well stocked. So, as you can see, I got 2 pink sheeps, so we'll open one of them. My one and only chicken jockey. This one is the Holy Grail. And then we got the pink sheep. We'll just pick one of them to open. That one, okay.
Sure.
And then I also have 2 Endermen. Don't ask me why I have more than. Don't ask me why I have multiple. Which one do you want to open? Left or right?
Left.
And then, last but definitely not the least, 2 creepers. So as you can see, I have 2 of each, except for the chicken jockey. Which creeper?
I don't know that one.
All right.
This is cheap. Give it a 5. It's just a creeper face on it. This one has more detail. I give it a 6.
I mean, the lids are the same. I feel like with Captain America, we got some pretty high quality cups for the toppers. That's why they only had the 1 cup per customer, 1 topper per cup rule. This one, I literally just bought all the toppers separately and the cups separately. Like, they went back to the original rules. So I think we kind of got spoiled with the Captain America cup. But we're back to basics now. So, what'd you give this cup, the Creeper cup? 6. All right. What'd you give the small cup?
7.
Okay. All right, because this one has to scratch. We're going to put this one away. So what do we have first? The Enderman?
Oh, there's scratches on it. Well, whatever.
Oh, really?
Or there's just dust. Something. I don't know.
Oh, it's the same on the other one.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's the same on the other one.
It's just walking.
He has hands.
Yeah, hands.
In the game, they don't have hands.
Did the Enderman in the movie have like texture?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one just blank. Not like the Creeper topper has actually texture on it.
So what should you give the Enderman here? Just put it lightly on it.
Yeah. 5 is just
5?
standing there.
Let me look at it. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a lot of, some paint issues going on there, that's for sure. I will say this will probably be the least popular one. Not because of the character, probably because he didn't do much in the movie. Also, I think this one probably looks, in terms of design, probably looks the weakest.
Yeah.
So I'll also give this a 7 out of 10. All right, pink sheep next.
I think this is the heaviest out of all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought the Enderman would be. Oh.
Well, that's plus the cup, but yeah. It has like the same texture as the popcorn bucket. I wish the sheep was making a more like weird face.
So what'd you give it?
7 or 6. 6.5.
Yeah, he looks too serious. Yeah, where's that? Doesn't really have that goofiness. I will give this. What'd you give this one?
6.5.
I will give it a 7 then. It's not the worst. I think it's pretty cute, but it's not as goofy as I expected, especially like you said from the popcorn bucket. I might as well whip out the creeper then.
6.
That's it. What about it? What makes it a 6?
I don't know. It's just standing there. Well, I guess that's all it does. There's nice texture on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's good texture to it. I like how he's in this like walking pose. That's pretty cool. Here, he's walking. He's not standing still. So 6, right?
Yeah.
And last, I will also give it a 6. And last, but definitely not the least, the most famous one of all. I don't have enough cups for this. Actually, no, I do. Yeah, screw it. We'll use this. The most famous one of all. Chicken Jockey.
Okay, his hair is like gray, so he looks really old.
It's a child.
Yeah, I know, but it's like... Also, the zombie face... Yeah, there's like so many like faults. It looks like he's 8 years old.
Well, that one is sold out because that one is the most popular one.
I don't know, just because of the memes, I'll just give it a 8.5.
8.5. Let me look at it. The chicken has a mole. He's got a black dot. Yeah. I mean, he looks all right. I mean, I wasn't really expecting much. I mean, yeah, you're right. His hair is gray. This guy's Ankh status. He's a grandpa. I will give this an 8 out of 10. Also because of the memes. So, between the two cups, you think the mini one is better, right? The mini cup?
Yeah.
Okay. And which of the toppers? The 4 toppers?
Chicken Jockey and Creeper.
I think for me, it will be Chicken Jockey and Pink Sheep. It's not that bad. I think I like it. Speaking of tins, let's look at the more generic looking tins first, and then we'll get into the real stuff, the really exciting popcorn buckets. So, tins. Start with this one, the dirt block.
Okay, this one makes sense because this is basically like the logo of like the whole game. Yeah, the visual, the printing on this is good. There's also that QR code at the bottom, but what's inside? Yeah, you can fit a lot of popcorn in here.
Before you close the lid. There you go.
Also, it's like, it's not a perfect block. It's like angled like a bit like that. I don't know if that was an intentional design decision. I'll just give it a 8. Solid 8.
I mean, yeah. I feel like this is built better to eat popcorn rather than the special ones. Those are for collecting's sake. This one, yeah, I think you're not missing much if you don't buy them. This is really just for making popcorn. Next one. The diamond ore.
Okay, this one's like shiny. I don't know if it's glow in the dark, but that would have been cool. Yeah. I think this one looks better than the dirt block. So I'll give this like an 8. Wait, did I give the dirt block an 8?
Editor, rewind that. I'm pretty sure you did.
Okay, so I'll just give it one number higher.
Okay. I think I will also give it a 9 as well. It looks pretty solid. It's nothing too special. Like I said, none of these tins are anything special. This one, my personal favorite, the crafting table.
Yeah, this one has a lot of detail on it. But I also like the lid. It shows... What is that? What's it craft? What do you craft from that?
With that recipe, I don't know. If they put the sticks like this, there will be a an iron axe. I don't know what they're making with that.
a tot launcher. Yeah, I'll give it the same as the diamond ore. 9.
So overall, before we go into the real deal, these tins, they're not really they're okay. They weren't in the official list of the merch stuff, but when Cineplex posted their list, this was on there. So do you think this still sold out? This was probably the not so popular as these buckets, but these still sold out. So overall, what do you think of these tins? Do you think they serve better as actually a popcorn bucket or as
they're
collectibles?
more serve as like eating in the theater. They're higher quality.
Yeah. Didn't stop them from selling out, so these were still popular. Now, on to the real deal. Let's look at the good stuff, the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail. Starting off with this bucket. I am so glad. Okay, let me tell you something about this bucket. This is the TNT bucket. And the story behind this one is the morning I went to the theater to buy Chicken Jockey and the Creeper cup, that was all they had at that time. So then I went to school, had class, yada yada yada. Then as I was coming back home, I was like, I think, what if I stop by Metro? Editor blanked this out, but like, what if I go back again? And I was like, oh, they're probably gonna have the same stuff. I go back up to the theater and I just see the first thing that appears on the screens, TNT bucket now in stock. I'm like, where was this in the morning? I didn't see this in the morning. So I went back in to once again back to the same theater in the same day to buy this bucket. So this, I almost didn't get this. If I just went straight home from school that day, I probably would have missed this bucket and it would have been sold out. So please, open it with care. Nice. The TNT bucket.
First impressions, why is it orange?
Maybe it'd be the light. Actually, no, it's probably not. No, it is orange.
I without the white label, I thought it would be like a pumpkin.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it should be more red. There's like some tiles texture on it. When you open it, it's just, you can fit a lot of popcorn in there. Probably this is the one where you could use this in the theater if you're not really serious on displaying it, or yeah. I don't know, give this a 8.
8?
Yeah.
I think you're right. This does serve as this serves for both purposes. It works as a collectible, wonderful, like perfectly, but at the same time, you can also open this in the theater and eat popcorn out of it. Just remember the lid, because this isn't attached. You might lose it if you're not careful. But yeah, I mean, this feels compact, hard plastic. I mean, the inside is quite spacious. I'm gonna put the bag in here actually. That's actually not bad.
Except the color.
Yeah, except for the color. Yeah, this works wonders as a collectible, honestly. The thing is, it doesn't even say it's exclusive to what theater. It just, oh yeah, it has the company that made it. So honestly, you're not, like, this is not bounded by a specific company. That's good. A lot of these cups is, say, Cineplex or something. When someone looks at your collection, you be like, oh, you got that from Cineplex. You can look at this and be like, oh, where'd you get that? I will never tell you, and you'll never know. I will say, do you see and movie?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. It's not painted. You cannot see this unless you look at this close up. You gotta like really look at it to really see it. I think that's another. So points off for that. They could have colored that black or like make the font stand out. And the overall color. Why is it so orange? You know the American version of this. This is the Canadian version. The American version is actually like bloody red. I've seen it before. It's bloody red. So I don't know why the Canadian version they went with a little bit more orange. Weird. But yeah, overall, perfect as both eating popcorn and putting in your collection. So you gave this an 8, right? Yeah. I will also give this an 8. I agree. So, are we ready for the bucket, the Holy Grail?
Sure.
The Holy Grail. So this actually comes in 2 things. So, introducing the chicken jockey. So it comes in 2 pieces. So when you buy this, I'm pretty sure at this point, everyone who wants it has bought it, because of course this was the buckets. This is what sold out right away. The theaters actually had a couple on display, like already opened and built for you. So if you actually want to like put popcorn and drink out of it, they can just take the open ones and put the popcorn and drink in for you. But if you're like me and you're just buying it for the set to collect it, then they'll just give it to you like this, 2 separate things wrapped up. And then they will also give you a large popcorn and a large drink, because this is a 2-in-1. I don't know if you can tell already. This is a 2-in-1. This is a complete set, but has 2 purposes. You can see why this was an extremely popular bucket. So the baby zombie is the bucket. The chicken is the cup, is the drink. So be very delicate when you open this. I might resell this one day and make $300. Here you go. I can't believe this is such a popular bucket. So retail price, this will set you about $30. $30 with popcorn and the drink. If you buy on eBay from a scalper, you're guaranteed to pay $100 plus, maybe $200 to get this.
Yeah, you can fit a lot of drink in this chicken.
So yeah, that's the cup.
Ooh.
What was that?
Oh, it's just really tight.
Oh,
the lid. I like how there's a cap for the straw.
Oh yeah, that is cool. Oh yeah, so it just doesn't leak.
Yeah. And it's more like bendable. The texture is good. The face is really creepy.
I think it looks funny. Looks very goofy.
Yeah, let's look at the zombie next.
And then we'll put it together. Yeah. So don't rate it yet. Don't rate it. We'll rate it when it's completed. The child zombie. The baby zombie.
I didn't know. Like, was his shirt ripped in the movie?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to his shirt.
Yeah, I know, but like it is ripped.
I mean, for that zombie undead look, it would make sense.
Yeah. So you just take off his scalp and put in the popcorn. There's a lot of room in there. Yeah, it does snap in place, so
it won't spill then.
Yeah, it won't spill. Yeah, okay, let's combine it.
I mean, I think they both work wonderful on their own. Like individually, they're probably great, but obviously you want the full. Does it actually snap together? Oh, is that secured? That is secure.
Also,
wow.
when I tried to stand up the chicken, it would like go like that but now there's like more weight on the back. It can stand up.
Okay, that's good weight distribution. Is the beak that heavy?
Probably.
It's okay. Okay, this is it. What we're looking at here. This is the bucket. This is what everyone's been trying to get. What do you think? Review it.
Yeah, it's like a 2-in-1. You can carry it easily without. Oh, except
the
the straw.
straw.
Yeah.
Well. But I'm actually impressed how the zombie is secured on the chicken.
Yeah, the zombie's just staring at the straw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're like, if you want to drink out of it, you're like.
Yeah, you're gonna hit the zombie's forehead a lot. Like, yeah, it's very portable, that's for sure. But like, I feel like I like the 2-in-1 feature of it, but I feel like it's a little inconvenient when you're actually trying to eat and drink out of this. Like, like the popcorn's up here, right? So you're in the theater and you're like this. Your hand's gonna keep touching the straw, like this. Maybe that's why they have the lid. And then when you're trying to drink, it's gonna do this. It's gonna keep hitting your head on the face. So I like the vision. I like the vision of it, but again, the execution is a little bad. You can actually put a lot. You cannot put a lot of popcorn. I think you can put more popcorn in the TNT than this one.
Yeah.
But I like the vision of it, and I'm pretty sure the company, as soon as they saw the chicken jockeys scene was blowing up, I think this was like an instant yes to like make this a popcorn bucket. So, what do you think? The holy grail of popcorn buckets from this movie. What do you give it?
9 out of 10.
I will also give it a 9 out of 10. How about individually?
8, and probably this is like 7.5.
Okay.
Or no, 8 as well.
I'll probably say the same. Ooh. I will say the chicken will be, I'll give it a 6. And then the baby zombie, I'll give it a, sorry, no, I changed my answer. I'll give the chicken a 8, and then this one a 7. The baby zombie a 7. But yeah, you're right. The weight distribution could be improved a little because look, one little tip, and the whole thing tumbles over. So I think points off for that for sure.
Yeah.
But like you said, without the zombie, the chicken is never going to stand up on its own. It's going to keep tumbling over. So there's a little bit of a issue there. But other than that, the Holy Grail buckets, very, very nice. I think that's it. I think we've gone through the whole list. For all the Cineplex stuff, rank it, including the tins.
I don't know, just a solid 8. It's probably better than the other theaters' merch.
So Cineplex does it the best. And then ranked, which takes second.
AMC. Or the US ones.
And then Landmark. I think I have to agree with that list. I think overall from the entire set, we have an obvious winner here, but I think the TNT takes a great... No, actually, I'll put this number 1, and then the pink sheep, number 2, and then TNT number 3. So those are my top 3.
I agree.
There you go. And then as for the cups, I will say between Cineplex and the AMC one, which one did it better?
AMC? Or the cups?
The cups. I'm not counting the toppers.
I don't know. They're about the same.
Okay. Well, there you go. Let us know in the comments which one is your favorite. Which popcorn bucket would you get or would have already gotten? And yeah, let us know what you think of the movie overall. I mean, this movie has gained a lot of traction. A lot of the merch for this movie has gained a lot of traction. Like I'm looking at a $300 popcorn bucket right now. Like, imagine the money I can make reselling this. Goodness. But I won't. I worked too hard to get this. I worked way too hard to collect all these. I went through a whole tour all over the city to get all this. So please give this video a like, so at least my suffering of so much traveling was worth it. Because god damn, this... I never thought at the age of 22 that I'll be spending my time doing this. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Give this video a like for my own sake and my own sanity. Subscribe, hit the like, do all the nonchalant stuff. And of course, always remember, chicken jockey. We'll see you in the next one.